It's Entertainment Schmig.
All right, so probably the most important piece of audio over the weekend is Sam Hunt on hunting.
September would come around, and my granddad always planted a dove field. Labor Day weekend, we'd go dove hunting, and then about 3 or 4 weeks later, bow season would come in. So we'd do that for a while, and then duck season would come in November.
Right.
Still do a little deer hunting throughout the winter, and then wait for spring for turkey season to come in.
All right, good.
That's the order of animals that he
good,
killed.
man. Yeah.
Sam Hunt.
Thinning the herd.
On hunting. All right, so big divorces in Hollywood. Now, we've been talking about the ugly divorce between Bobby Flay and Stephanie March. Stephanie March played one of the assistant district attorneys on Law and Order, Special Victims Unit. But they got married like 10 years ago, and she signed a prenup. Well, she's come out in the press with all these nasty stories about affairs, and somebody hired a plane to fly over when Bobby Flay got his, star on the Walk of Fame that said cheater. Anyway, it's been really, really ugly. Well, it's finally been settled. I guess she was only supposed to get, according to the prenup, $5,000 a month in spousal support for 5 years.
I'd take it.
Well, of course you would, but he's worth $20 million.
Oh, I wouldn't take it then.
And she said her palate is the reason he is so successful.
Oh, really?
Yes. She would taste test things.
Of course.
You know what I would tell him? Let's chill out on the seasoning. Have you ever been to one of his restaurants? He overdoes it.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And he also has a thing, and this is going to shatter glass for people, where he says kind of and sort of all the time. He's cooking. Well, the butter kind of helps do this, and if you sort of cook it, you either cook it or you don't.
Right.
It's his crutch. It's like a like. So anyway, we don't know the terms of the final agreement, but he didn't want it to go to trial because he didn't want the cheating allegations to get out in the press. But apparently she did a lot better than what she signed. And then this, you haven't heard from him in a while, but Jamie Walters, a.k.a. Ray Pruitt.
How do you talk to an angel?
From The Heights. And, of course, Ray Pruitt from 90210. He was a boyfriend abuser. He hit Donna Martin. It was not good. They just filed for divorce, he and his wife. I guess she asked for spousal support. Well, he just filed that he is asking for spousal support.
What does she do for a living?
She's a podiatrist. He is an EMT. He hasn't been in Hollywood doing anything for 14 years. So they're ending their 12-year marriage, but he's asking for some cash as well. And they have 3 daughters. Some sad news, if you were a big fan of The Godfather. I know Lance isn't because he's never seen The Godfather. But Alex Rocco passed away at the age of 79. He played Mo Green in The Sopranos.
He was the casino guy.
Yeah,
the casino guy, right.
He got whacked while he was getting a massage. Yeah.
The Corleone family wants to buy me out. No, I buy you out. You don't buy me out.
Your casino loses money. Maybe we can do better.
First of all, you're all done. The Corleone family don't even have that kind of muscle anymore.
Yeah, they don't.
He was also he won an Emmy for the role he played in the famous Teddy Z. John Cryer was in it, but he won an Emmy. And he was in Matt LeBlanc's show.
He was the dad,
episodes.
Wasn't he?
Yeah, that's on Showtime.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a very odd story. 21-year-old guy was found dead in Demi Moore's pool in Los Angeles Sunday morning. Police are saying it was an accidental drowning. She wasn't there when it happened. Her daughter Scout and Tallulah have been throwing a bunch of pool parties at her house this summer, but they weren't there. Nobody from the family was there.
Ooh.
The person who house sits for Demi had at least 5 people over Saturday night. One of them called 911 around 5 o'clock Sunday morning after they found this guy. And some reports say he'd been floating on a raft. He might have fallen asleep. He didn't know how to swim. He might have slipped and fallen in. He may have also been drinking. They don't know. They're waiting for the toxicology reports. But just a bizarre.
Yeah.
If I don't know how to walk on high steel,
would you be on
I would
steel?
not be on high steel.
No.
If I didn't know how to swim, I would not be in a swimming
You'd
pool.
be nowhere around a swimming pool.
Is there a fence law? Isn't there? I know
there is here, but I don't know.
For toddlers?
LA.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's mandatory. If you own a pool, you have to have a fence.
Well, what if they did have a fence?
Well, then if he scaled the fence, then...
What if he was a guest?
Yeah, they were... The house sitter let him in.
The
They had a
house sitter
party.
had people over.
Ew.
Didn't
What
you
part
ever
of that
house
story
sit?
did you not hear?
No, I didn't know if they think he might have just randomly,
No,
crossed
I
into
didn't
the
say
park.
anything about that in the story.
I know.
I love the way Kevin adds fences and, a perimeter.
Isn't there a
and-
fence law?
Aren't there guards with turrets and machine guns?
Maybe I know the house sitter. Maybe I'm trying to protect them. I
All
don't
right,
know.
Kevin, did you see any movies this weekend?
I did not. Oh, I did. Empire Strikes Back again for the 90th
No, I'm talking
time.
at the theater. Ant-Man
I
is
heard it's-
Marvel's 12th movie to open at number one. It made $58 million. Minions made $50, and Trainwreck, the Amy Schumer movie, third with $30 million. Still a good, a good amount of money.
If they showed that video of the guy getting attacked by a shark in the theater, I think that would have, if you'd paid $1 to see that would have been number one at the box office.
Well, speaking of Amy Schumer, the cover of GQ magazine, we put a picture of it up with her and C-3PO and R2-D2.
She was sucking on C-3PO's finger.
Yeah, well, Star Wars is not happy. They have their account.
Lucasfilms?
Yeah, Lucasfilms. There was a tweet from the official Star Wars account said Lucasfilm and Disney didn't approve, participate, or condone the inappropriate use of our characters in this manner. There's not going to be a lawsuit, though, because it falls under the category of parody, so there's really nothing they can do about it. And but Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, he's cool with it. He said he got excited when I saw the pics and thought she was just cast in Episode 8. We should be so lucky. That's Entertainment Schmig. It'll be online in video form a little after 8, and then the second edition of Schmig at 8:40 on Y90.